we have a very special guest in studio today. He has listened and edited every single second of this podcast since it's been in our existence.
Probably knows us better than we both know ourselves.
And he probably can, finish our sentences for us in this episode before we finish them. But we have our producer, the great and powerful Murphy Wells.
Knick-knack, Daddy's back.
Woo!
For
the people that, have been listening to the show for a long time, for the first, what was it, like,
I'd say 100 probably.
100
That's a safe guess.
Ballpark 100. You were in studio for those, and then you left us and moved to Florida.
Yeah, and I regret nothing. I come back and it's the holiday season. It's cold as shit. Yeah. And okay, it's not really cold as shit because like moving to South Florida where it's perpetually like spring or summer, it gets like 65 and there's people running around in bubble jackets and they're like, how are you not cold? I'm like, bitch, I'm from the Midwest. This is not cold. It's beautiful.
Yeah. It's like the perfect weather.
We would be walking around I'm walking around shirtless. I don't care. And they're looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, y'all, I'll jump in this pool right now. Right. We at the CrossFit gym that I shoot at down there, like they do like Friday get-togethers, it's like Friday Night Lights. And they brought the people from Sweat House and they brought like an ice bath, and the ice bath was at 50 degrees. Like, you think you can handle it? I'm like,
yeah, that's easy.
I worked at First Form. 35 is like the standard. Yeah. They're like, you're not even shaking. I'm like, I'm from the Lou and I'm proud, bitch.
Don't want to live there, but I'm proud.
Yeah,
damn straight. Because, dude, I don't
come back and it's like 35 degrees here today, which is like the coldest it's been. Yeah. And it's been like 70 degrees.
My mom said that. She was like, I was out raking leaves the other day. It was like 80 degrees. I'm like, 80 degrees in November, but watch, the minute I get there, it'll be sub 40.
Yeah. Exactly.
God had other plans.
Exactly what fucking happened. I know. I literally stepped outside more. I was like, of course, Murph, this is the day that I'm hanging out with Murph. Right?
It's not bad though. Quite honestly, like right after Thanksgiving is when it's unforgiving. That's when you start noticing like, hey, I can see my breath. My car is frosted over in the morning. It might be late because it's icy on my fucking driveway. Yeah, no, in Florida, it's like wake up, palm trees, join on the backyard. It's great.
Yeah.
Sounds nice. Sounds nice.
Yeah, you guys need to come visit.
I would love to, to be honest. And we need to make a trip down there.
Now that we know that we can take Zach and Pat on the road.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I love doing that. That was a lot of fun. It's not that hard to take all our equipment and set it up and
see if we could take the bus. Fucking road trip it down in the bus.
The bus.
Down to South Florida?
Yeah.
You'd be in that bitch for fucking 20 hours, man.
It's a far drive where you're at.
It's got couches.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, the weekend I left, which was Labor Day, I had a festival that I went to. I had to go to. It was a business endeavor. And bro, like the festival was over at like midnight on a Sunday. I drove back 5 hours from Chicago to St. Louis. And then like I woke up at noon at Matt's house and like we had to be at La Katrina for fucking tacos. I was just, I knew I was not there. I was just, and then I had a 20-hour drive. I got like 4 hours into Illinois. I'm like pulling over, going to bed. I can't stay up anymore. And then just, of course, got pulled over in Georgia. Do not get pulled over in Georgia.
No.
Super speeder state. And I got to West Palm Beach about 11:30 at night. So just like have a designated driver.
Yeah.
Get some sleep.
For sure. So how's it been in Florida? How has your life changed? How have you changed as a person living there?
Well, seasonal depression is no longer really a thing. That's a big piece of it because throughout my entire life, I was always like, dude, I don't want to live the rest of my life in St. Louis. Not because there's something I'm trying to escape, but it's just like no one in my family ever left. And I think we could all agree, like when you grow up here, there is an attitude of contentment. There are people who, hey, where'd you go to elementary school? Where'd you go to middle school? Where'd you go to high school? Mm-hmm. And then it's like, well, did you start working for like TD Ameritrade? Did you start working for fucking AB or Edward Jones and like Worldwide Technologies, First Form?
Yeah.
And shout out First Form, shout out S2. Like I loved so much about being from here, but it always like perplexed me that like a lot of people never wanted to leave. And so and you guys both know what I've been dealing with for like the last year. This has been no doubt the hardest year of my life. Like 2025 in and of itself has been the hardest year of my life. And it's crazy because like at the end of the year, I've always been able to be like, hey, I just had the best year of my life. And in terms of personal growth, you could still say that. But like basically from the time I got there up until the new year, I really got to let loose and have some fun. Like I was having fun, business was fine. And then basically the beginning of the year started and I was in a position where like, okay, I have to go back out and I have to market myself. Because in St. Louis, people do the marketing for you as long as you're doing a good job because everybody knows everybody.
Right.
small city, big town feel. Out there, I knew like 5 people. And it was meeting people whom I had no rapport built with. It was just like, hey, so-and-so told me about you. I need something on the fly. I had to start budgeting again because the cost of living is way different. It's way different. It's way crazier. The pace of life is way faster. And coming from First Form, I'm kind of used to that. But it's like when you work at First Form, it's like one day is not one day. One day is like 3 days. And so when I started my business, I got to relax a little bit. Going down to South Florida, whether you're in West Palm Beach, Fort Lauderdale, Miami. God, it's like 5 days gets packed into one day and you lose track of things very fast. And obviously juggling a business with juggling the rental and all the responsibilities that come with this, like I really had to man up on some things. Positives, like my smoking habit has definitely decreased. I can say that. I was speaking in jest when I was like, I wake up and hit a joint. Like on Sundays, that's true.
Yeah.
But throughout like the week, like I'm only smoking after dark. I'm really not partying. And even like if I go to like a festival or a show, it's never with the intent of just like being blacked out or, you know, having fun. Like that's always fun, but like it is, how can I network? How can I leave people with a great impression of me? And thankfully I have friends like you guys. I have like a group of friends down there. They're always like, this is our best friend, Murph. And if I'm good with them, it leads to a lot of shaking hands and kissing babies. So I've had to grow really hard and it's been very tough, but it's been very rewarding.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm happy for you. Glad things are going well for you.
Sorry I ditched you guys.
Hey,
No,
you know what? Hey.
we had to grow too.
Right.
You know,
And you have.
Yeah. Now I'm confident with these cameras and all the equipment and
About 95% confident with pushing that record
yeah,
button.
you hit the button.
Pat's got really good at hitting that button. He only, misses it every.
It's red.
It's red.
It's
He did
on.
it. He did it good.
Yeah.
But the catharsis it brings me, because the amount of times I fucked shit up and I'd be like, had my hang, fucking, my tail between my legs, guys, fuck something up. I'm sorry. And then like you guys messaged me when I was in Vegas last year. I'm like, how's it feel?
Yeah.
I was so happy to get that call because I'm like, I'm not gonna rag
It's
on
not
you.
my fault, but yeah, it sucks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
It was a whole fucking episode.
Yeah.
At least the last couple times, it's only been about 10, 15 minutes in.
Yeah,
That's-
I look
that's
because
amazing.
every once in a while I look over, because that's how kind of we know how, because we need to get back to using that timer over there. I mean, it works. So sometimes Pat sets his water bottle and I can't see it, but
Could be worse.
But no, it's we figured it out. We just had to adapt. We had to learn.
Just
we had
like
to get
everything we've done with this is just learning on the fly.
I still think the show has gotten better since I departed for Florida.
better. Yeah, you think?
I do. Like your guys' dynamic and your organic delivery on the mic. Again, I have edited every single episode, every single thing you've talked about, every guest, let me do the intro again. Like every single one of those.
Let me do the intro again. Fuck something up. Yeah.
It's true, dude. And like, it's like, I'm not like the foremost expert on anything podcasting, social media, but I am like the authority, like said, hey, I think we can do this. Like, it's a good idea if we start doing this. I give you guys feedback every single episode. And sometimes I'm very generous and sometimes I'm a prick. I know that. But like, I know that when I'm a prick over and over and over again, it's not falling on deaf ears, and it shows because the ability to let people talk and just listen, the ability to ask constructive questions, the effort to give pushback on things. It's like, I don't know about that. That is tough. It's very hard to do. And you guys have like really found yourselves in like the last year, especially.
Oh yeah, especially with the pushing back on people. That's just like not my nature. My nature is like I'm just naturally a people pleaser, and I just kind of want to.
You worked in the service industry most of your life.
It's just like my natural reaction is just like, let me just agree with them. It's worth, and it's it's better than having a argument or starting a confrontation. But now I've realized like.
But we're doing
podcasting. It's interesting.
But we do it in a constructive way. It's not like we're attacking them.
No, yeah.
And we just rephrase the question or ask it slightly different to but then add in our own opinion or thought to it, and then ask the question.
Yeah.
And then we've generated some amazing conversations.
I know. And again, when I'm sitting there and watching, like there'll be, and again, this is views from a third party that's no longer presently at the table. It's like, when we start talking about your guys' kids and what it's like to be dads, especially, like the emotional beats are real. Like I'm a crier.
I'm a crier.
I know you are.
Every fucking episode.
I know. I literally.
I noticed you like do this real quick. I'm like, is my man crying again?
I was literally talking about that last night because I was sitting around with my neighbors and we were talking about like men and crying.
Yeah.
And Gina's like, yeah, I think I've seen Zach cry like 5 times in his whole life. And I was like, yeah, I think sometimes because Pat was like, Pat, the guy I do the podcast with, he cries almost every episode. And sometimes I fucking feel like I am like dead inside because I don't cry.
Yeah.
You know, like,
and bro, it's encouraging because, dude, like I'll cry over, dude, I was listening to an episode, whose episode was it? Because again, I've listened to 200 plus at this one.
Yeah.
It was a couple episodes ago, and it was someone's story, and that tells you so much.
Yeah.
But I actually got moved, and actually it might have been the 200th episode when we were just like reminiscing.
Yeah.
And I thought back to the first episode we ever did in fucking Zach's extra bedroom. And, you know, like at the end of a series, they'll like do like the, hey, let's reminisce episode. And we'll go back to all your favorite beats that you think we'd never reference again. It felt like that, except I didn't feel like I was getting cheated out of 22 minutes between commercials. It's like, wait, no, I was a part of this. And I don't know how many times I've told you guys this, but like my loyalty to this thing isn't just because it's a job. It's because like I started this with my friends. Right. It was a question on a podcast of mine that's discontinued. I can't fucking continue with my own podcasts anymore. But it's like, dude, I give the feedback, you take it, and every episode something gets better. And there's always gonna be stuff to work on, but just the emotional tie I have to it, man, like I just, if we've done all this with 200 episodes, again,
yeah, I mean,
parabolic soon.
Well, we're seeing, I mean, we've seen a huge increase in our listenership over the last like 6 months. I feel like, you know, I mean, we're consistently getting views with our episodes that do, you know, triple digit views for us. That's, you know, that's great, right. You know? And I mean, you know, it's so weird how some will just take off and other ones we think are fantastic and they, you know, they get 40 views and we're like, okay, well, I kind of expected that one to do a lot better, but like, hey, it's just so weird. You know, like some people hit, some people don't. It just depends on.
One thing I've noticed is that whenever we talk about big pharma, none of that content performs well on fucking YouTube.
Really?
Yeah.
Shocker.
We have, yeah. What was his name? Adam French.
Yeah, we talked about that a lot. Yeah.
I thought this episode was great. I'm someone who's discovering his faith right now. Like I've reconnected with the idea of Jesus, and it's been really, really good for me. But when we started talking about that, and I was just like, dude, I even like changed the wording in the description, and I'm like, how did they keep getting away with this? And I got like 20 views, and I'm like, okay, well, let's post about what it's like to be a man and being a Christian. Thousands of views.
Yeah.
A big piece of that, because I know that there are folks who like watch us from the outside looking in and they're like saying, okay, like this is how you podcast. A big thing that we stay away from is that we're not intentionally controversial.
Mm-hmm.
We had that conversation on Arians.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's the thing is like, I'm sure if we went controversial and stuff, it'd be way different. I mean, look at what his is doing, you know, and that's the thing. Shit. We had a 4-hour episode where it was just, I felt bad for Zach. It was just me and Ariana going back and forth, debating each other about different shit. And so look at it. It's one of his highest viewed episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just like, man, I thought it was, but I don't want to do that.
I know. It's just, it's kind of exhausting,
yeah,
to be honest, you know, versus like, I'd rather just bring someone in here.
Be drinking a lot more bourbon. That's for
That bottle of Henny is mine, actually.
Yeah, it is. I'm saving it for you.
I'm not taking it.
Yeah, I mean, we don't get too controversial, but every once in a while we'll brush into some weird, you know, some topics, but for the most part, you know, we just want to give people story and, you know, give them a platform to, you know, speak, you know, about whatever the fuck they want and tell their story. And because I mean, a lot of the people that we have on, it's the only podcast I've ever done.
Yeah.
You know, or, you know, it might be their first one that they've ever done.
Nick Metz, you guys had to like pull him in kicking and screaming.
We had to get him drunk and take advantage.
Let me date you a little bit first. Take me out to dinner first. You know
and then we have him
wine and dine him with some bourbon and cigars.
I think he's like top 5 or top 6
he absolutely
is in terms of views. And it's like, you know, and that was one I thought was a great episode, but I didn't think it was like anything spectacular, but it was all of a sudden it shot off. I'm like, well, this is great.
Share this shit on Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook, man. We've realized that.
Not kidding. Like people say Facebook's for old people. No, that's for people you have really good like formal relationships with, people you went to high school with, people you went to fucking grade school with. Hey, where'd you go to high school? Well, guess what? I know where you're on Facebook.
Right.
Those motherfuckers will actually go the extra distance for you. So don't sleep on Facebook.
No, I mean, that's been every episode we've done so far. I've been sharing it on Facebook.
I need to be better about that.
Yeah.
I hate getting on Facebook.
Yeah.
You want to talk about politics?
Yeah. Well, because people can just write absurdly long posts, and it's more like I feel like people read more on Facebook than they do look at things, whereas Instagram is way more like visual in terms of like the photos and the video.
If you want to go to a place where just about nobody knows what the fuck they're talking about, go to fuck.
Yeah.
No. and I spend time on X. So like,
Yeah, I don't even get on that.
yeah, I mean, you really don't have any reason to, unless you like want to keep up with like trends and you want to keep up with like people's dialogues of things. Like X is great for that, but again, I'm so into politics, unfortunately. So like, I kind of have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just there's so much shit to pay attention to. Like Instagram already steals enough time for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I've been trying to spend less time on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have you been spending more time on?
X.
I'd say the social media platform I spend most time on is YouTube.
Okay.
Because I don't like really. Well, for sports, I stream a little bit. Like I have ESPN, I have NBA League Pass, but really, it's just like I love YouTube because I like. Dude, again, I like investing in creators because we're creators. It literally pays my bills for me. But back in the days when we were, well, not when we were all, you were probably gone. You were for sure gone. 2017 Springfield. Were you gone 2018?
Bro, I was back.
I
I graduated in 15.
Okay, so you were gone.
I was done with Pro Bowl by then. I was doing this.
Yeah, I knew you were gone by then. I didn't know either of you by then.
Yeah.
But when I was in Springfield, like I was just sitting at the rental with me and like 4 of my friends. They were all Sig Eps. I was not. I was a Sigma Nu. Weird that we all got to live together though. Great friends. And just like, dude, I remember just sitting there being broke as fuck and learning how to become an influencer. And like, it sounds really douchey to say that, but like I was watching like Big Brandon Carter, Dom Mazzetti, you know who he is. I can't think of what his channel is. Fit Life or something. I don't know. And just like, I fell in love with like not watching network television and just investing in creators. And that's kind of where I built my curriculum of like, oh, I can do this. And then I started working at First Form. I'm like, my job depends on me doing this.
Yeah.
So that's that. That's why I love YouTube so much.
Yeah, I mean YouTube. Ever since we started consistent, like I used to use YouTube like very intermittently, but then once we made the YouTube page, and I realized like how much work goes into this shit, and like it made me like really appreciate like when I look at someone, I'm like, holy shit, they got 1 million subscribers. Or they got, oh my god, this view's got 300,000 views. Like holy fuck. Like that really, like when we started posting that, they put all that shit in perspective for me, and I was like, wow, I really like. And then I'm on YouTube a lot now. I mean, that's how I consume pretty much all of my podcasts, all of my. I mean, if I have 30 minutes to kill, and I just throw on YouTube, I find there's always going to be something for me, that I want to watch. It just the algorithm, I think, in YouTube's great, is in terms of. I mean, it's just like any other algorithm. It's whatever you feed it, it's going to show you.
Yeah.
And I think that's why a lot of people, they get on social media and they see nothing but controversy. It's because that's what they're watching. It's what they're clicking on. If you go there and you just want to watch puppy videos, and you start watching nothing but puppy videos, it's going to show you more puppy videos. And it's just like if you're going on there to look at politics and find people arguing with each other.
I do.
Yeah, and you're just going to see more and more and more of that, and it's just going to feed you more of it because it's what you're consuming. So. Just whatever you consume is what it's going to show you. So, people like to blame the algorithm on a lot of things. It's like, really you need to look in the mirror at what you're feeding yourself. And then that's why it's showing you that.
Absolutely. If you want to build an audience, you have to take positions on things. You have to be willing to offend people. And whether you're on X, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, it doesn't matter. Like there's no shortage of people willing to fucking offend you. Including me.
Well, especially nowadays, everything's so divisive right now. I mean, you just feel like every time I go on there, somebody's arguing about something. So there's something new that's
go to the comment section. Yeah, how do people feel?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I mean, I know we don't have much on our stuff, but some of that stuff's funny as shit to read. Oh, there's times where I'll just go just to get a good laugh in.
Yeah, there was someone. It was Brennan McLeod was talking about the message. This pissed me off. So just so you know, if you ever go to the Zach and Pat YouTube page and you get a saucy response, it's not them, it's me. So, and the message that Brendan was leaving for his kids, he had tears in his eyes. He was being very sincere. He was very kind-hearted about it. Like, what a dumb message. Like, why would you ever leave that? I'm like, bro, your parents wishes they aborted you. Like, no, my parents love me. They just didn't tell me stupid shit like this. I'm like, if you were my kid, I'd have aborted your bitch ass. Fuck ass motherfucker.
I didn't even know that's what you responded with.
But I didn't respond on this. That was me. I did it as my own page.
I was gonna say, jeez, okay.
I don't mess with your guys' credibility.
No, that's fine.
I'm willing to ruin the fuck out of mine.
Yeah,
we appreciate that.
I mean, that's the thing is like, I haven't seen any of those comments, or like I would have said something like, wow, dude, go fuck yourself.
Well, I mean, it's better that you don't, because again, like the more passive you can be when receiving criticism, the less influence people have over you. Whereas me, I'm pettier and shit. Like, dude, I'm mean, I'm scrappy. I'll slap the dog shit out of you verbally before I do it physically. Like, don't fuck with my fucking friends. Like, you can talk shit to me all you want. You can talk shit about my basketball team, my hockey team, where I grew up, but you don't fuck with my friends.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, we appreciate you, Murph.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, for sure. Well, man, like, was there a point when we were doing this that like you were like, I guess maybe you've already said it, but when you like that you saw us kind of like level up, was it that point where when you moved to Florida?
Yeah, because you guys had to deal with a lot of the inconveniences that come with the producer without actually being the producer. Like, hey, these are the memory cards you need to get. This is the process you need to go through. This is the division of labor. This is how we need to respond if there are things that go sideways. And like, there was a day you called me and you were like, oh no. I don't think we got the footage. I'm like, we got the footage. And it was like, from right then, like, we had to pull so many different mulligans for those first few episodes. Once we got over that hump, I noticed your guys' confidence increased just ever so slightly, but it showed me that you could do this without me being there. And it's just little things. It's being aware of the passive agreements, the knows, and the things of that nature, which I jokingly would rip on you for, but it's just little stuff that like I would tell you and then I would see you do it. And it's gotten to the point where like you guys will say like, hey, we might need to call to get your opinion on something, and then you'll figure it out without me. And it's like, I'm never going to turn down the opportunity to talk to you unless I just can't, like, unless I'm at a shoot or unless I'm asleep. Like, typically I'm there within a minute or 5 minutes to talk to you, but it has been like seeing you guys solve problems that are supposed to be in my wheelhouse before they eventually get passed off to me. Like, you guys being able to handle it. Cause again, as busy as I am single-handedly running a media creation business in South Florida and like all the other shit that I have to deal with, you guys have things that I can't relate to at all. You have significant others and kids. You have multiples. You have mortgages. Thinking we're about to get on my motherfucking mortgage. You know what I'm saying? You need to sell a house. Go to this man. You need a mortgage. Go to that man. And it's just been, I don't want to make the joke of like, it's like a proud father watching his sons fucking move on their own. But it's like, dude, the training wheels have been off for a long time. And I also did think that like, whenever I was here on the mic, adding in that extra perspective can be good. But this isn't the Zach, Pat, and Murph show. This is the Zach and Pat show. It really was just like, you guys didn't have me to like, hey, maybe the conversations hit a minute of stillness. Murph can pick that up. No, you guys are doing it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's been my role within this, is like, because, Zach does a great job at on a topic, continuing to keep that topic rolling. And then, like, all right,
we beat this dead horse.
Yeah, let's.
We've talked about jujitsu for 2.5 of these 3 hours.
So let's.
I kid.
You're a dad.
Have you taught your kids to strangle and choke people yet?
Speaking of, if you taught them.
Wait till you hear Josh's episode.
Josh's episode was great.
God, it was funny.
That was a good one.
Yeah,
we had a lot of fun with Josh yesterday.
Dude, I love Josh. Josh is great.
He's a funny guy.
Sweet human being.
Oh, he's great.
We'll absolutely kill you, but like,
for sure,
friendly as shit, emo swoop. I just realized like when he's doing this, it's a dog.
It's a dog. It's not this. It's this. It's like a pointy. It's
with the ears thing. I just realized what he was doing the whole time.
Dog pound. Yeah.
I just thought he was trying to do this, but just kind of being lazy about it. No, that's not what he's doing.
Dog pound.
And he didn't tell me that.
Yeah,
figure it out. Context clues.
He's got like I suck at jujitsu gis, and like it's got like this like on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Dog pound. That's like their thing, which I think is hilarious.
Good stuff.
Funny.
Oh, for sure. What episode? Is there an episode that like really sticks out to you that you were like, man, this is probably the best thing we've ever put out?
Yeah, but even that has a margin now, because little story time. Back when we put out the Kyle Watson episode, I said, hey, this is the standard we need to reach from this point forward. The conversation felt even. And obviously this is a person who's important to all of us. And just for those of you who don't know, I fucked up the original recording, but like, the fact that it took a while to get Kyle back on the show and our setup increased, some of my technical know-how increased, your guys' conversation skills increased, and also we weren't quite as starstruck. Like, you've known Kyle for a long time, and we've known Kyle for at least a couple years, but like, he's still that guy to us. He's still sensei.
Totally.
And the fact that we were able to do that over, and I felt it like created a line with which like, this is the standard, and we're going to hold the standard. I don't think there's been very many episodes that have dipped below that. Like, as the producer, I'm someone who gives his honest feedback. I'm like, hey, I was feeling this guest. Or I was really feeling this. Or I'm like, I didn't like that. Or I didn't really buy into this. Like, that Kyle episode stands out to me as something that it exceeded expectations and it created a standard. We've had some in the last like few months specifically that have just hit every beat for me. And I mean, Adam Sella was in here recently. Adam, good to see you as always. He was like, it was the best podcast ever when you had Dan Schuchart on. And that episode kind of gave me a blueprint. I call it like our matrix of success. Mm-hmm. I've noticed that like when we have someone who is either served in military, active duty, or a veteran, that goes a long way. If they're a part of TAC team, that goes a really, really long way. Because those are, dude, like when you're in the Midwest, you have a natural affinity to like appreciate people who do public service, whether they're police, EMT, military, like that's really cool. Us doing jujitsu and how close knit and the fact that we fucking win at TAC team. That again, it's a community thing that you can't replicate, but the personality thing, that's just like people who are just exuberant and they manipulate the energy in the room in such a positive effect. Dan Schuchart's episode really, 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 really stands out. And again, for good reason why it's gotten the kind of engagement it has. Like I remember watching it and I'm like, oh shit, we got 100 views in a day. We got 200. Mm-hmm. Shit, we're at 700.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, Adam Crutchfield's episode.
Yeah, just got right up there with him like 2 episodes later.
I think that might have actually been the one where I'm like, bro, I'm a little sad now. I was like really, really happy because like just the pink hippo thing.
Yeah. The what?
The pink dolphin.
The pink dolphin. What is it? The Boto or whatever.
I can imagine Junior be like,
Boto.
Boto. Yeah. I fucking love Junior.
He turns into a beautiful man when he comes out of the water.
Definitely not PC.
Steals all the women and brings them back.
I've just like the back, and I think this place has been really, really good for us as well.
Yeah.
This is
having the setting. I mean, just like it's so much. It just bringing people in here. It's just a completely different vibe than it was in my house. You know.
Yeah. We don't have to worry about Cooper barking.
Barking or the people cutting the grass.
I'd give you guys a look. I'm like, I'm going to go kill Zach's dog. Yeah. And it would get kind of quiet because they kind of believe me. Yeah. Because I wear my emotions on my face. I don't hide anything. I'm like, this fucking dog.
Yeah. We had to open the window and then, because you came to you were in the basement for a little bit.
Yeah.
The basement was a little bit better. We had a little bit more room. It was a little cooler.
Yeah.
But this is just above.
Yeah, that room would get hot upstairs. I forgot about that shit.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a way better setting.
Not to mention just like people showing up and walking through, giving them a tour, and just them getting to kind of see that and get that feel of this place. I mean, it's just a great place.
Yeah. What would you guys say? Is there anything like landmark or like
landmark episodes?
Yeah.
I mean, Schuchart, that's a huge one.
Yeah.
You know, having Kyle, Trevor, those are ones that stick out for me.
I really like Trevor's episode.
Trevor's episode was great. Yeah, there's just been so many good ones.
I think Adams for me, just because Crutchfield, we're pretty much the same person.
Yeah.
Both mortgage lenders, both single dads, both great relationships with our ex-spouses, you know.
I loved hearing that.
Finding community within jiu-jitsu and having that, and then just being vulnerable to open up and talk about it.
I saw Amanda's been calling you out.
Oh, God. She doesn't call me out as much anymore. I've been going more, so
she's showing up.
She did this thing on her story, and I think it was like Trevor, and she was like going against the Invisible Man version of you.
Yeah,
like, it was Colin.
Oh, it was Colin.
Yeah.
Colin's episode was from before I left.
Yeah, we should get Colin back on.
I love that guy. I love all the coaches at Watson's, but I had a really good chemistry with Colin.
Yeah,
I don't know what it was.
Just a goofball.
Just goofy as hell.
Yeah.
He's just a great guy. And another one that I know you and I both really liked was Cody Kelson.
Oh,
that was a really good one.
That was a good episode.
We really liked that one. Bill Brown's was really good.
Bill's episode was good. Dill's episode was really good. And that was the episode where I was like, hey, we'd see a lot of engagement when it's tag team people. Because Bill's was like a top 5 in terms of engagement for a long time.
It was, yeah. And I mean, and I feel like Bill's was just full of so many, it had like a good combination of like knowledge, you know, where he was kind of, because I look at Bill like kind of like an older brother.
Yeah.
You know, like he's someone I could go to, like if I have any sort of like question about anything. Cause he's said, might have been the first time today.
It was not.
It's not.
I'm not keeping count, but I am hearing them.
But I'm doing a lot better. But Bill, I look at Bill like an older brother, and he just is someone I can go to if I have any sort of question, financially, family related. He's just a good wealth of knowledge, and he's just very, very intelligent about a lot of different topics.
I loved hearing his story about like how he was raised and his relationship with his dad.
Oh, dude, crazy.
Yeah.
He said,
insane.
Dad was a Hell's Angel.
Yeah.
Like crazy.
No, I really related to that.
Brian Bunfield's episode.
Brian Bunfield was another one.
Super good.
Yeah.
Super good. And it trended very, very quickly, too.
Yeah,
I was like,
did.
we're talking about metalwork? All right, well, guess what? People want to know.
Yeah.
You never know what the audience is going to care
Never
about.
know. Never know.
I think, but honestly, the ones that I'm most proud of are the ones that we did in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
Connected with just two random people and just had an unbelievable conversation with both of them.
They're great.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed them. And again, like that was an opportunity for me to kind of flex some of my editing chops because I'm like, I mean, dude, when you look at how this thing started, when we were in Zach's house to the basement to when you guys first came here, the ability to have like good natural lighting and for me to use that one light source to give it kind of that cinematic glare to it, like eventually, because we while I'm not as big into Chris Williamson's content as maybe like you two are, I appreciate his production value. Like the dude's a stud in business. The dude's a stud as a creator. And like, if you look at the way this dude creates podcasts and you can put your nose up at it, let me see you do better.
Right.
That was an opportunity for us to move closer to that quality. And again, if you look at fucking Joe Rogan's early hundreds episodes, like, bitch, I find a webcam.
Yeah. It's just like, yeah, it's literally one webcam and they're like sitting on the couch.
In like 20p.
Right. Yeah. It's tough.
We filmed this on a potato.
Yeah.
Pretty much. But I mean, here he's been doing it started in 2012. So what, 13, 14 years now?
Was it really 2012?
He says.
It looked like that in 2012. Holy shit.
Think back.
Well, think about it. Well, what did cameras look like when we were in high school?
It looked like that.
Yeah, it looked like that.
I just can't believe
it's crazy how far technology has come in 15 years.
Yeah.
I mean, the videos, just the clean, crispy videos that we can do now. I mean, it just can't compete with that.
I would say this before we move on to any other topic is like, y'all, because everyone hits us up about like, how do we get podcasts that look like yours? But you're going to have to make an investment.
For sure.
Like you guys made an investment.
Yeah.
You made an investment in me as the producer. And then I'm always upgrading my equipment. And when I had to move to Florida, I'm like, hey, this is win-win. You guys can keep this high quality equipment. I'll sell it to you at a fucking really good rate. And then we will never lose quality.
Well, and that's the thing is that people don't understand is like, I mean, these cameras aren't built for podcasting, but we've
modified them.
We've modified them to where, because they create an incredible picture. I mean, like I know, because like, we did Arion's podcast and he's got those, what are the ones?
Black Magics.
That are supposed to be, I honestly, like I was watching that episode that you and I did. I think ours looks
cleaner.
Yeah. I think a lot of it is also the atmosphere that we do because these lights, the separation from the background, and we're always thinking of little ways like, hey, let's mess with the ISO a little bit. Hey, let's change the depth of field with the aperture. Like those little things and just continuing to go and my editing has only increased. Like I'm not saying like I'm the world's greatest podcast editor, but like I have a wheelhouse of things I can go back to consistently. And it's just, we continue to get compliments. Like you sent me someone who's like, hey, how do you get stuff to look like that? I'm like, brother, look, I can tell you that it's all my editing, but like you have to control the controllables. And if you really care about your content, whether it's a podcast or just your shit for Instagram or anything, like if you're not invested in quality, then you're going to be a quantity producer. And it's way harder to get eyes if you're just posting shit all day. Polish your turds and put them online.
Well, that's the thing is just like, you look at what, like if you go to like the Trueline page and you look at what we're posting versus what they are, I mean, it's just night and day different.
I'm looking right at the camera.
Yeah.
I'll probably cut this out.
Well, I mean, where do you see, or not where do you see us going, but what are some changes that, because I know we've had this discussion recently, that you would like to see us change about the setup of this place, what we're doing as podcasters? Is there anything that you would want us to do or see, or changes that you would want us to make?
I do think it's that you have to keep an open mind moving forward. And it's not that there's anything one specific, because it's like when you showed me the place that you were in Nashville, I just saw the potential for one light source, for it to be organic. And I'm like, I can mess with this and we can have a fun time doing it. And while I had some technical difficulties with Steve's episode, because my setup at home versus my setup on the road, I have different editing capabilities. Like, it's just to keep pushing the boundaries and to never see yourself as complete. Because look, Joe Rogan's always going to do his shit from fucking, is it Comedy Mothership? Is that where he actually?
No, he's got his own thing.
His studio will always look like his studio. But even then, like, it's changed over the years. Once he finds something stable, he sticks with it for long enough. And it's like, I would like it if we did have a big open window. But if this is what we did for like the next year, I couldn't find any real faults with that. It's just, you have to keep an open mind to try new things. It's like muscular confusion. Like, okay, you played hockey, you played baseball, you did a lot of different sports, but when you found wrestling, it's like, okay, I have to try this new guard. I have to be willing to focus on technique and not strength. Not everything carries over to everything else. I've got to be willing to challenge myself, and I've got to be willing to up the intensity and figure out that I don't know fucking everything. And for us, maybe it will be improving these camera setups to something else. But the truth of the matter is, it's like, I don't really worry about that. I'm just like, what can we do that other people are not doing? And that just comes with having an open mind and being humble. Because like, bro, I would argue that Arian's setup is probably more fucking costly than ours.
Yeah, well, the cameras are more expensive.
Yeah, those Blackmagic cameras are the real fucking deal.
Yeah, they're very expensive.
They're very expensive, but like, I look at what we do, and it's because we can control what we can control. Like, sure, we could get. I've got my A7 IV right here. This is what we used to film on. But like when we filmed on it, we were in your room and we had all natural lighting. I would say this looks better than that does because we've grown as people who can control the atmosphere around us. So for anyone who wants to do anything with media, it's like, bro, you just got to keep pushing boundaries. I learned that from Matt Joe, who's been a guest on the show before, and he has been a mentor to me in a lot of different ways. Like there were little things he taught me when we were at our first EDC together. We only went to 2 together. The first EDC Orlando I ever went to, that's when I picked up a camera and he was like, hey, you're doing this too much. Try doing this a little bit more. But this is all I know. He goes, all right, well, you didn't come out of your mom knowing how to ride a bike. Eventually you had to fall down and scrape your knee. I'm like, hey, right.
Yeah.
That's stuff I've relayed to him. I'm like, hey, bro, thank you for teaching me not to shoot wide open all the time, which is, never mind, I won't bother everybody, but like, it's just have an open mind. That's the biggest thing.
What I kind of would like to do would be occasionally if we have like a guest we're particularly excited about or something, maybe that's a time where we go and we find a different place to record. Like there's Matt Hansen or Ryan Hansen, who's been on the show before. Like he's got a really, really cool Airbnb here in town. And even like when Jordan Peterson came in town, Jordan Peterson rented Ryan's Airbnb and shot a podcast in there. Like it's a very like cool setting. Like even just like finding cool spots here locally that we could just bring all of our stuff and set up like that. I think that's something that we could do every now and then, just like to kind of give us that cinematic, cool picture, you know, and give you an opportunity to kind of mess with the editing. And, you know, I just think that's an opportunity for us to grow. And then Pat's got the idea of doing the video walls behind us. That's, I'm just, you know,
or, you know, we could hit up Remington and we can go to Webster.
Yeah.
And that thing's lit.
That thing's sweet. I mean, we could totally do that too. You know, it's just, we got to figure out what we want to do.
I remember going in there because like we were just like, hey, we're randomly going to take a tour of this thing. And I was like, dog, I could rave in here so hard.
It's cool. I mean, that's what they do they can shoot movies on that thing. I mean, that's how they shot The Mandalorian, was up basically on a wall just like that. Just a, 100-foot fucking TV screen that you can put whatever picture you want behind it.
Remington sponsored the show.
Yeah, we could be shooting a podcast in space or something. You know?
That's what I'm saying is we had the TV walls. We could put fucking stars or some shit up there
behind us.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, again,
it's an idea. The only thing is I want to, before we go and buy we go spend a few $1,000s on TVs, I would like to just I want to make sure that it looks how we think it's going to look before we make the investment.
Yeah.
I just want to go
to Rent a Center, grab one for a day or some shit.
That's an idea.
Yeah.
We could do that. And I just want to you and I do a 5-minute podcast and all right, this is what it looks like. Does it look cool? And then we send it to you, you edit it up and you're like, okay, this looks sick. Now it clearly looks like there's a TV behind you. You know, I want to figure out, I just want to make sure that it's going to look cool before we spend the money on it.
Yeah.
You know, because I would hate for us to go spend, $3,000 on TVs for it to not
hell of a business expense.
Right. For us to not, and then
which I'm cool.
Case scenario, we've got 200-inch TVs that we have now, but I would rather not spend the money on it if we're going to find out it doesn't work as we think it's going to.
Yeah, take chances, keep it in mind.
Yeah, I mean, I think the whole rent one and just try it out. I think that would be cool. We just got to mount it on the wall and figure out how it would look.
It might be more cost effective for us than just buying TVs. Is just renting them.
Maybe. I don't know. I have no idea how much something like that costs to rent. But
biggest piece of advice with anything you're going to do is YouTube it. Like, it was always like, hey, Google it. And now people chat GPT or Grok it. But like, the thing about YouTube has been like, there is a piece of content specifically for any prompt that you can put out there. And that specific thing has a prompt, I'm sure. So you can see someone doing that.
Right.
I'm almost positive.
Yeah.
Well,
we're not the first people to think of that. I wouldn't think.
Because it's like now they've turned like some of these TVs. They're like made them into like their picture frames.
Mm-hmm.
It's high depth picture frames when they're not being used as TVs. So, we could, if we ever wanted to have this original setup, we just take pictures of it and we put it on the screen.
Yeah. The one thing I would be like kind of sad about though is like kind of the personality of the wall is like that's pretty unique, but try it. Don't get too attached to it.
Yeah, it's just an idea. You know, opportunity for us to grow.
Well, like I said, we could take a picture of the stuff and then we could always broadcast that onto the screen.
Yeah.
So
we're going to broadcast the shit that's in the wall behind us on the screen.
Well, if we ever wanted to go back to the original.
I'm just fucking around.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah.
No, that'd be cool. Like in space.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that painting up there is I found in a house. I was about to. She was wanting me to throw it. Like, I cleared everything out of the garage for her.
The Rogan one?
No, the like random space one.
Oh, that's what that is?
Yeah, I was literally about to throw it away, and I was like, "This is kind of cool." She's like
cool.
real artsy. She's like, "Yeah, I made that drunk with my dad one night." I was like, "Cool."
Happy Father's
Day.
Day.
Take it. It's in our podcast studio now. Because I was just like, I just wanted to fill the walls with art.
Yeah, no. Again, personality is a real thing. Full bar over there too.
Yeah, that's all Pat.
Well, no, the Hennessy's still me.
Oh, okay, the Hennessy's you, and then I think I got like one bottle of Johnny Walker there. That's mine. But
God, that'll put fuzz on your peaches.
Yeah, well, Pat's all
delicious.
Pat's all about the fuzz on the peaches.
I know. Fucking dip, spit, and bourbon.
Yeah, sometimes they look the same.
That or a cigar, some sort of nicotine.
Yeah,
tobacco,
blunt.
Have you ever caught yourself giving Zach and Pat, just because you listen to us so much? Have you ever caught yourself like giving Zach and Pat-esque advice in real life?
Can you give me like an example?
Oh, I don't know. Just something that we say on the show or have said a lot on the show.
That's like
rubbed.
Oh
yeah,
rubbed off on you.
Yeah, the amount of people I've told comparison is the Thief of Joy is way up there.
Okay, fair
but that's me kind of being a prick, but it is also very true.
Such a true statement.
Yeah. Well, because it's like, dude, when this thing, like, okay, you got to remember, we started this after COVID came and went. A lot of people were able to start a podcast, literally just bullshitting. It goes, hey, bro, let's sit around and talk about life. Okay, well, when you're burned out in your mom's basement, that's all you have to do. You're going to get a lot of eyes. But like when it comes to like, hey, what the fuck is it that you're putting out there for people to actually absorb and digest and then tell someone about? Like most motherfuckers don't have any value. What are the 3 ways you can create value, Zach?
Educate, entertain, motivate.
Yep. Very good.
I remember those.
With that, it's like we understand something. It was like when we were coming up with the premise of the show. We're here to talk about entrepreneurship, manhood, fatherhood, how to win in the 2020s as a young man, especially. And yeah, we bring on women. We also tried to do an episode that was like very political, and it just didn't work because it was something that like I can go on and 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 on about. But it's like at that point I was just kind of being preachy. I was just kind of lecturing a little bit, and that's not good for our audience. So it's like, okay, we can focus on being valuable and not controversial and understand that it's going to be a longer road for us to create the audience that we want, but those people are going to be super loyal. If you go look at podcast B, which could be, let's just call it impulsive. You know, I have my opinions of the Paul brothers, like whatever, but everything from the thumbnails to the guests that they have on to like the clips that they put out, it's meant to ignite a response. And it's like, okay, they're over there doing really, really well. They have millions of subscribers. Everyone knows who they are. Is it worth giving up the thing that makes you you so that you could mimic someone else's success? Like a lot of people, again, I mean, I worked for Andy Frisella. I worked for him as someone as an employee, and I worked for his media team, and everybody wants to know, how does Andy do the thing? And I'm like, Andy does the thing that I'm telling you to do. Figure out who you are, what are your positions, and get ready to defend them. You do not have to be a 15-year, you don't have to be a 26-year entrepreneur. You don't have to have the best supplement company in the world. You don't have to have Ferraris in order to fucking get to the heart and the premise of do your own fucking thing. Stand on your own 2 feet. Like, don't try to be like someone else, because there's a bunch of everybody's out there. There's only one fucking you. And when you realize that like my individuality, my quirks, this is the shit that will attract people to me. Like there could never be another Andy. There could never be another Joe Rogan. There can never be another Zach and Pat. There can never be another Murph Dirty. Well, Murphy Lee, but whatever. I stand on that. Like, do not compare yourself to other people. Do not let other people's ceilings be where your fucking journey ends.
Have you ever asked anybody what they'd have on their tombstone? No.
No, but that's actually been really cool to see though, because I think when we first started doing the Tombstone game, like it was kind of like tongue in cheek, like it was like people didn't take it as seriously, and now motherfuckers like, oh, dude, I've never thought of it. And I think it was like Steve's episode recently because I just edited it the other day. Just kind of him like going through the rotations of like his faith and like his family and just kind of like what he really stands for. Like that shit hits for me. It's cool to see people stop and give you an honest answer. Like I might even have another answer today if you feel so entitled to ask me, so emboldened to ask me, no, just leaving hints, whatever. But I said, yeah, I was him in life and in death, and I was a lifelong enemy of communism. All those things are still true, but it's still very tongue in cheek. And I've grown a lot since that episode. So it's, while I don't mimic that, I would say that like the premise of it being a thing, it's had a lot of impact on me. And yeah. I'm really glad we started doing that.
Yeah, I think it's just like a kind of, it's the one consistent thing that we do on every single show, because everything else it varies depending on who's sitting in that chair. Yeah. Depending on who that is really, it's totally how we cater the conversation. Sometimes we have people in here that it's a very parent, fatherhood heavy episode. And then other times we have people on that don't have kids. So that just topic doesn't come up at all. Yeah. And
I think the one thing though that we have added, pretty much most of the parents that we've had on, we've always asked, or we've been asking, if your kids are to see this in 15, 20 years,
yeah, I like that question.
One message you leave.
That's a good one because
right.
Yeah, that's how I look at this. Right. It's an opportunity like that my kids can go back and see who I was when I was in my early 30s.
Yeah. I think that's actually been really encouraging because there was a period where we kind of wanted to add to the intro. Like we really want to focus on kids that are like, just getting out of high school, just getting into college, just getting out of college, really looking at like Gen Z, maybe your early stages of Gen Alpha. And we want to give them something solid to look at. And it's like, man, if I could have seen our podcast whenever I was getting out of high school, like would I have fucked up my life still? Probably, sure. Like I had to touch the stove. But if I would have known that like, just because your parents tell you, you have to go to college, you have to get a 40-hour-a-week job, and you have to do this, like all the things like the American dream is like, it's kind of just lost its luster, I hate to say. This would have been a really great premise for me to be like, okay, wait a minute. I can do my own thing and I don't have to be just like society, and I can still be successful because it's really up to the individual to determine what success is. Like when I was working at First Form, I was like, all right, I got to make 6 figures. Got to have insurance. Got to have the wife. Got to have the house. And I did my own thing. I'm like, actually, I care about certain things way less than I think that I should. And Zach was a really big inspiration in that because like, even before I left 1P, I was like, yo, what is it like to be a realtor? Like, I understand that it's going to be demanding and that like, there is no safety net and it's all you, but seeing the way that you conduct yourself, I was like, dude, it kind of reminds me of my mom serving tables. My mom served tables her entire life. She's like, I could have gotten a different job. I could have learned to type. But like, I was really good at helping people with this. Mm-hmm. I saw a lot of that carryover and I'm like, well, wait a minute. If I take that attitude and I plug it into the thing that I'm now very passionate about, like, I'm going to have to struggle and I'm going to have to eat some shit. But like when I come out on the other end, I'll understand why Andy is as dedicated to his craft as he is. I'll understand how Zach sold 32 houses his first year. That's the right number, right? And so I've got to know you. It's like, bro, it's just, you're not in the top 1% of your fucking entire company for a fucking mistake. You really care about people. Within meeting me for a day, I could feel that you cared about me. And it's just, dude, it's not so much like what you do, it is how you do it. I think that's a big premise, and the way that we've spoken to the younger audiences has really left an impact on me. So don't try to be like other people and really just follow your own path, man.
Well, I mean, that was what the cool thing was when we had Jen and Shane on with the cigar vault.
I love that episode.
Yeah, it was a great episode. A couple weeks ago, I was talking about this on, but their 17-year-old son watches our show regularly. Mm-hmm. Apparently, that's what's cool. Like,
and he didn't even know that they were on.
No,
wild.
Yeah.
You never know who's fucking watching.
Right. It's like, holy shit, my parents are on the podcast I listen to. Like, whoa.
I missed that episode.
How do you know them? Like right. So cool.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, want to get on? Well, if he wants to come on, fine, let's get him on.
Yeah.
For sure. And that's the cool part about this is like, I feel like we're people out there. If you ever want to come on and you think you've got something interesting to say, like we're open to having people on. Like it definitely is not you don't have to be an entrepreneur. You don't have to be whatever. You can be anybody as long as you got a story to tell and you're willing to talk. Like that's all I want. That's all I want.
An episode that actually left a really big impact on me now that you say that was when you guys had Gina and Melissa on.
We need to redo that.
Loved that.
We've been talking about that. We were supposed to, what was that book we were supposed to
Yeah,
read?
the Anxious Gen. Yeah, we had another book we were going to read, and then we all bought the books. And then
Book club has kind of gone the way of the dinosaur, but whatever.
Yeah. But I mean, I still would like to get them back on and do that. We just need to actually read the, 'cause with bringing them in, it's like we need to like have a
structure.
thing. We need to have a thing that we're like, all right, we're here for this.
Yeah.
Just because, we bring my wife on, his ex-wife, it's just going to turn into like talking about our kids the whole time. Even though like, if we are going to talk about this book, obviously we're going to talk about our kids, but to have that like anchor to kind of going back to, I feel like is just something that would make the episode better. So we just need to read the book. We have the book. It's literally sitting in my kitchen still, like on the shelf, and we just need to actually open it up and read it. Cause I think, didn't you say Melissa read it?
She started it.
Okay.
I don't know if she's finished it, but she started it. So, but
yeah, we'd like to get them back on.
Get Dalton on too.
Oh yeah. We talked about that. Yeah, we'll get him on. That'd be great.
I would love to see someone like Jeff Lavecchio come on the show.
Yeah, he was actually in building it. He was here yesterday.
For real?
He was on Monica's show yesterday.
That's great.
Yeah. So.
Wasn't Will Grumke supposed to come on?
Yeah.
He has a beard now.
We got a whole list.
Yeah.
We came
on that car ride.
Yeah,
we got
we cranked out a lot of shit on that car ride.
Yeah, there are some really great people in the community that I would love to see on this show. And it's just not because like name value or following. It's because like, dude, I worked really close with Will Grumke for like 4 years. That dude will challenge you in ways like you have like, again, I know Sal and Andy very, very, very fucking well. They'll even tell you that's the most disciplined person they've ever known. That's insight I would love to see on the show just because I know it's going to be good. Because, bro, he'll talk about the fact that like when he was younger, he's a heavier set kid, he's going to be a teacher. Now he's like one of the greatest hybrid athletes of today's day and age.
Hey, he's always fucking winning those high rocks every time he fucking goes.
Bro,
it's insane.
Darcy, Lexi Johnson, her husband Brett, they're great people. Yeah. They're all great. I'd love to see Lexi Johnson on the show. That'd be awesome.
I would love to. I mean, all those people. I would love to have all those people on. I mean, we
got a road trip to KC.
Actually, fun fact: Lexi Johnson was the first person who ever actually paid me to do any kind of content.
Really?
I happened to have my old camera at HQ. She was there to work with Dave Mullis, and Dave was a little bit busy. And I'm like, "Hey, I'll shoot for you." She goes, "All right." And I delivered her some stuff, and friggin', I was talking to someone like, "Hey, the minute you get paid, you need to go file for an LLC, right?" And she was like, "What do I owe you?" I'm like, "Literally nothing. Just tag me." She's like, "Here's $30." I'm like, I guess I'm in business.
Yeah. I'm in business.
I'm in business, baby. But then shortly after, I did my first shoot with you, which was just like randomly, we were at Larry's. Yeah. I had barely any idea how to use a camera.
Yeah.
We shot jujitsu content. A lot of it was muddy, but you know what? It was a start.
It's a start. I mean, and look at what you can produce now.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. We've come a long way. And some of the stuff that I am doing, I'm even looking at, I'm like, holy shit, that was me.
I mean, we've all grown. We've grown so much just through this, and just because how long ago did you and I start working together? It was 2022?
It was I think maybe
23.
I started my LLC actually. I'll never forget the day I actually started my LLC. It was January 9th, 2023. And I know that because that night I got into a conversation with my then girlfriend and we got into a big fight. And to show that she like cared about my dreams and everything, she sent me a plaque that says Paradigm Media Solutions established January 9th, 2023. So,
sick.
That's cool.
Yeah, because I think you and I started working February of 23.
I quit my job in February of 23.
Yeah.
I quit my job on a Wednesday.
February 23, and then we started the podcast in December of 23.
Yeah. Yeah, holy shit. Because
that's a busy year for you.
Yeah, dude. And I was also working with Andy's media team during that for a little bit. And that was amazing because I got to basically just like learn on the job. And that was one of those things that's always kind of like bothered me. Guilt and shame and feeling lesser than have always been feelings I've had to like tackle with. And like, I got to learn from really great people. Shout out to Keith Lutker. Shout out to Alex Lubers. Shout out to Jonah Jamroz, like Chaz McDonald. These were all dudes who took me aside and like, hey, this is what you're doing right. And this is what you need to improve on. And they ultimately said the same thing. Like, bro, your storytelling is fucking impeccable, but like, you just need to get better with cameras and editing. And that was like a once in a lifetime thing because 3 months after I left First Form, like they needed help on like the Relay F team, but they couldn't move anyone from the positions that they had. So they're like, hey dude, Andy likes you. Andy trusts you. Do you want to like start doing this? And I basically got to learn on the job for like 6 months. And it's a lot of that shit is carried over to today. So big ups.
That's the thing too, is like people feel like they gotta like go to school and learn this shit, but the best way to learn is fucking doing.
Yeah.
Just jump in and do it.
I have to have a business degree to start a business. No, the fuck you don't.
You don't.
You have to have an idea and a dream.
I have an unfinished English degree.
So I can go start a no shit. We don't have a community. Like,
I have an unfinished English degree. What the fuck do you mean?
Right. I mean, that's the thing. Is just you're gonna get your best education on the job.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like that's shit. That's how we've learned to do this.
You had no idea you were gonna be a mortgage loan officer. You had no idea you were gonna be a real estate. You have a psychology degree.
Yeah.
I know because I've heard about it enough. And you don't use it.
I don't use it.
Yeah.
Well, and another thing you mentioned there just made me think of this question, but you are really good at storytelling. What do you think is like a skill, or like what pieces of that? Like why do you think you're such a good at storytelling? Like what about it keeps people engaged? Like, what do you do that makes people engaged?
I have always credited my like lexicon of knowledge of like pop culture, music, TV, movies, things that we've all been exposed to for a long time, with the fact that as a little kid, I did not have a lot of friends growing up. And it's kind of sad, but like when I was a little kid, and when I mean little kid, I mean like I was in my tween to like teen years. I just didn't really have a dedicated group of friends. Like I would hop around from here to there and blah, blah, blah. It's around the time I actually met Zach Schroeder, which is really funny. That was about the time I stopped being such a consumer of media on a regular basis. Cause like I would go watch Family Guy. I had like the first 3 seasons of Family Guy and like the first 4 or 5 seasons of South Park on DVD. And I would just run them again and again and again and again and again. And I kind of could like point out like, what's the inciting incident? How is the drama building? What's the apex? What's the crescendo? Like, where does everything like pop? What's the lesson? How do I apply this over a lot of other different areas? And like, when does it not make sense? Like, when is there a gap? I started being able to notice like gaps in logic, and basically like throughout my entire life, like, dude, I was a good student up until about the time I was 13. And then when my grandma passed away, like I just completely I lost interest in school. I started having friends. And so like I was always really, really good at literature, like reading comprehension, reading and writing, the ability to get someone's attention and keep it from A to B to C. It's just been a strength of mine. And it's something that like you can teach, but it's like, hard work beats talent when talent refuses to work hard. This is something that I have a talent with, and that because of friends like you, Andy told me, he goes, bro, you're good at sales, but like you're a storyteller. Matt Joe, Mark Joe, everyone has said the exact same thing. They're like, you know how to get someone's attention and keep it. And I think it's just the fact of saying like, I've looked at creators of kind of like the old guard before social media was the thing. Like I love Martin Scorsese. Martin Scorsese is my favorite director. My favorite movie is Goodfellas. My second favorite movie is fucking Pulp Fiction by Quentin Tarantino. In a lot of those cases, like it's not a lot of fast-paced action. It's not a lot of like explosions and shit. It's not a lot of superfluous fucking forgettable bullshit. It's like, it's dialogue. It's just the right amount of cut time. It's understanding that like momentum keeps the story moving forward. I understand things in terms of that. If you put me in a situation like, hey bro, I need you to do this algebra equation, I'm out. Can't do it. Can't do it.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
This is my quant.
Now, on that same note, do you think you would ever evolve into doing more like long form content, like making movies?
Absolutely.
Or like something like that, like short films or anything like that? Is that something you would pursue?
Absolutely. Yeah. For the right thing that inspires me, then absolutely. Because you can put something in front of me and have me slug it out and I'll do it begrudgingly. Like there are times that I just straight up don't want to do something, and it shows. Like it shows because like I'll watch it afterwards. I'll be like, yeah, I could have done that better. This could have definitely been a little bit cleaner. I hope they don't notice that. Like little things. But when I'm plugged in, nah, dude, I will fucking put everything to the side. Like CrossFit Wild, shout out to Tommy Belmont. I met him once at Summer Smash when I was still working at First Form. And like the week that I touched down in West Palm Beach, I was just basically like, hey, where can I go to fucking find clients? And I saw that there was this one gym, and it had all First Form people following it. I'm like, I bet he's a Legionnaire or a retailer. He was. And I walked in like, do you remember? He was like, no. I'm like, fuck, dude. Okay. Well, I met you 4 years ago. It was like 3 years ago at that point at Summer Smash First Form. I was on Eddie's media team. I just worked here. I have a camera in the car. Can I shoot for you? He was like, yeah, sweet. And so during the CrossFit Open, I said to him, I'm like, hey, can I go a little above and beyond with this? What are you thinking? Like, let me pick a song and I'll produce for you like a 3.5 minute video for whatever the workout was. He goes, how much do I owe you? I'm like, I won't charge you anything more for it. I just want to get the chops underneath me. And those 3 little videos were just like
They're incredible.
They're beautiful.
And
amazing.
And shout out to you guys, because I asked you to share them, because I'm like, hey, I put a lot of work into this shit. Fucking, I want motherfuckers to see it.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I can do long form. I can really do long form. And I shoot all those by myself. I edit all those by myself. I come up with the concept, the transitions, and it's just because it's telling a story. Too many people just want to put shit together and say, hey, smell this. It's like, nah, dude, just give me your nostrils. Let's walk. I'm going to cook something up. And at the end, when we eat, you'll feel like it's really, really valuable. That's one of those things that like I would love to jump more into that. Not only just because it would make me more money, but like it's just streamlining the process. But I would never want to give up editing podcasts. I have a flow. It's muscle memory at that point.
Right.
I told someone, I'm like, dude, look, whatever you're going to do in this racket, you just got to find out your flow. The order of operations really matters. And with your guys' shit, I know that I have to download it. It's better to do the color first, engineer the audio first, clip it all up, and then go at the end of it, make sure everything has color noise reduction. And then I have to export it overnight, because color noise reduction takes an hour and a half video, 12 hours to put out there. But guess what? For that 12 hours, my computer's not doing anything else. And that's why the quality's gone up and up and up and up and up. Yeah. Appreciate that question.
Well, when we make it big, you can do a documentary on the Zach and Pat show.
Fuck yeah. For our 1000th episode, we have a 3-hour documentary.
Yeah. We could do that.
Yeah. I know Zach doesn't get quite as sweaty during recordings anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, it was hot in that room.
It's nice and cool here. I'll keep it. Yeah, it's nice.
It's crispy.
Yeah.
We like it here.
Well,
It's been great.
Well, you've been with us every step of the way.
I'm sorry.
Well, no.
I'm kidding.
To you, what is the Zach and Pat show really about?
Ooh. Man. Dude, I think it's about self-discovery. I think that when we started this, because when me and Zach originally had the idea of doing his podcast, it was a way to streamline the content creation. But initially, I thought it was going to be all real estate. And I was like, well, dude, I don't want to just talk about real estate all the time. And I was like, well, it's niche. It's something that you're an authority in and you can kick people's ass. And I'm like, and if you bring Pat on, like, you guys are both really high-level performers. Like, you could kick the shit out of everyone, maybe not bigger pockets, but like in time, you could be right there. And then you're like, well, I think we could be a little bit more broad. And so I'm like, all right, well, we have to have 3 things specifically. Like, what was the name? Well, the @ sound, like Zach and Pat show. Like, as a literary guy, I have to tell you that this works as a title. But I'm like, okay, what are our focuses? We're men, we're entrepreneurs, and at least in your guys' cases, you're both fathers. I don't think that you walked in, the thing that both of you have said ad nauseum is that you were never going to be prepared to have a kid. There's never a right time. You're like, oh, I'm ready to have a kid now. It's like you might plan out a pregnancy, but when that baby comes, like it's a fucking 18-year deal of figuring it the fuck out. And maybe you have multiple kids. You are not only figuring out how to be a father, but you're figuring out who you are in this kid's eyes. And every time I see your guys' kids, like, I haven't seen your kids since the day I left for Florida, mind you. I haven't seen your kids since I don't know when. But it's like these kids are on the path of self-discovery. And they have really great role models in their lives. They have really great father figures. Their moms are top-tier people, too. I'm still figuring out who I am. I'm still figuring out, like, okay, I could say this better. I could present myself better. I could be better for this for the team. And every single person you're talking to, you're getting a perspective and you're offering a perspective. Just like how I said, you have to keep an open mind with the more technical aspects of everything. Watching you guys find out who you are and listen to my rantings and ravings and the feedback and us always just pushing to do something better with the show. Like, watching you figure out who you are has been the most rewarding thing. And so for anyone who sits down, whether you're a dude, husband, a father, an entrepreneur, someone like Monica Adams who came in, who, and my parents watched her on TV for a really long time. Like, a big takeaway from her show is that she was always evolving. You never know who you're going to be. You can have an idea of who you want to be and you can have a target to shoot for, but like, bro, figuring out who you are is, it's the path of life, man. So figure out something that you're willing to tie yourself to. And I've always told you guys, like, and this is the real deal, y'all. Like, without these two, I couldn't pay my bills. And I have not always been perfect at my job. There have been times where I straight up felt bad at my job, but I've always been willing to get better. And I've always been willing to give myself a little bit of grace in saying, I don't know everything, I will know. And even when I figure it out, that top 1%, the precipice of my skill set, I'll claw and scratch to get there. But even getting down to that 0.1% to make this thing better, because I care so much about you two and what this thing represents. It's not just a paycheck. It's like, this is the most consistent project I've ever been a part of. I've been doing this almost as long as I worked at First Form. And that means a lot to me.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Well,
you, man.
we love you, and we wouldn't want to do this with anybody else.
Y'all could hire someone from the Philippines right now and save a lot of money.
Yeah, I know, but
It wouldn't be the same.
Yeah, that wouldn't be the
Wouldn't be
same.
same.
We have we figured this out now. I mean, there's obviously still room for improvement on plenty of things, but I know we've come so far, and you've been with us for every step of this journey, and I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else.
Yeah. No chance.
I would never stop doing this.
No chance. Same. We've been asked that question, like, well, where do you see this podcast? How long do you see us doing it? Like, until we can't.
Yeah,
Until
until
we can no longer do it.
I mean, I have no end in sight. Just gonna keep doing it because we enjoy
It's
it.
the
and we have
best
fun
part of
with
the
it.
week.
Yeah, it's fun. Sit down and have a good conversation with people. Just shoot the shit for an hour and a half, and
And anyone
learn something.
It takes away from the stress of everything else.
Yeah, and that's
Yes.
important. I think too many people, and I can be guilty of this, as a creative, it's my business. Like, there's the left brain side of like, I have to make money. I have to be a negotiator. I have to figure out contracts that work for people as a win-win. As a creative, I'm like, give me the ball and get the fuck out of my way. Because this is when I express myself. Hell, even just shooting with you and Mike today, the little bit of fucking jujitsu that we did, like, I felt like I was in the vibe. It's like, it's my favorite thing to do. I love shoot. Well,
Have you tried getting in with any jiu-jitsu gyms down there?
yeah, I have. I did a shoot for American Top Team. But I want to be able to work with, because they have a dedicated media person. I'm a little bit better. I'll probably cut that out. They have a dedicated media person at American Top Team, and they were very welcoming. Like, bro, you can come in and train anytime. And it's like, all right, well, if I'm going to come and train, I want to like be able to trade
Right.
services and whatnot. But I mean, dude, I would say outside of doing the podcast, still the thing that makes me feel most alive is going to festivals. Not just because I'm fucked up, and I am fucked up. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, but like, it's capturing raw emotion. Like, you get that in combat sports, you get that in CrossFit, but seeing people like be in love and like really go fucking out of their minds with the outfits and just like the spectacle of everything, like, that's the shit that I will chase until I'm fucking dead. Swear to God.
Oh, I love whenever you go to these festivals. You
post
always post all the cool
and
pictures.
videos.
I mean, I'm like,
Amazing.
it looks like you have your camera in your hand the whole time.
I do.
You know, and it's just
I don't let it
beautiful.
go. I don't let it go. Because, dude, you got to stay ready.
Yeah, because I feel like you constantly are just capturing these moments where it's like you can feel the emotion in the picture.
Dude, even the pictures tell a story. That's a big
100%.
thing for me.
Yeah, I love it.
Shout out Ian and Ashley Evans, because without you two especially, I would have way less good-looking people to take pictures of at those fucking festivals.
Is that's a couple you go with?
Yeah, that
Rave
rave couple.
Rave couple.
Dude, those two have been so incredible to me. Those two have been like family to me. The night I drove into West Palm Beach, they stayed up super late so that I could crash with them and they could welcome me in.
That's awesome.
So
They're
cool.
great people. I love them so much.
Hey, get your ass up to St. Louis so we can get you on the podcast.
They've been,
Yeah.
they've been to St. Louis too.
Yeah,
They-
next time they come in town, we'll
They-
get them on.
They do a lot of cross-country tours. Like when I was still living at Higi, they stayed with me for a couple
Really?
days on the way to Colorado and on the way back.
Oh, nice.
It was really great. They're great people. They're wonderful people.
Awesome, bro.
That's awesome, man. Well, I'm glad you found your people down there.
Yeah.
So
Well, I think that's a good part for us to end it. But before we get you out of here,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
always end the show the same way. I don't know if
Wait,
you knew
or
that.
do I need to leave my... I don't have kids yet. Never mind.
Yeah. Before we get you out of here, Pat's got one last question for you.
well, we play this little game called the Tombstone Game.
Mhm.
Here lies Murph. What's it saying in your tombstone?
Fuck. So I was being really tongue-in-cheek the last time I did it. And a lot of those things are still true. Look, I'd say when anyone says my name, I say I'm him. I'm not him, but I'm him. Obviously, I'm patriotic and I'm not big with like the collectivist identity. I don't like communism, but I think what I would say is hopefully I will have been a husband and a father at that point. God. He created until the end.
That's
good.
awesome.
I like that.
Creation is everything, man. We have the ability to take an idea and bring it to life. You have the ability to bring people into the world. And maybe it was when I was tripping mushrooms. The word creation just kept flying through my brain and just seeing it in weird, like little different text styles. And it reminded me that being a creative is not just a job. It's not just my LLC. It's not just podcasting. It's who I am. I am here to create memories. I'm here to create stories. And until I hit that fucking dirt and I have to answer for all the things I did in life, which my record's a lot better than it used to be, I'm going to create until I fucking die. That's my piece, and I'm sticking to it.
That's awesome, man.
Beautiful, bro.
Absolutely.
Thank you. So glad that you got we got to do this with you, and yeah, I'm just happy you're in town.
Here's 200 more.
Yeah, let's do it,
Hell
baby.
yeah. We wouldn't be here without Murph.
No way. We couldn't do it without him.
And any advice that we could give you on starting a podcast,
Call this fucking guy.
call Murph. You need a Murph.
Oh, and Thunder are going to three-peat between 2025, 2026, and 2027. You heard it here first.
Let's go.
SGA for MVP, bitch.
All right, everybody that watched or listened to this show, thank you so much. Please click that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Pat and I are trying to get to 500 subscribers before the end of the year, so that would help us out a ton.
Share that shit on Facebook.
Share this shit on Facebook, please. You know, the Facebook share we've realized is a big boost for us.
It's so free and easy to do.
Yeah, if you enjoyed it, share it. It doesn't hurt. Doesn't cost you a thing. Just help us out.
Yeah, just support us. What does Andy always say? Pay the dues.
Pay the fee.
Pay the fee. Yeah, pay the fee.
That was also an episode that stuck out to me as Jason Muehlhauser, because that was the person who helped us figure that shit out. Thank you, Jason.
100%.
Jacked as fuck.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Absurdly jacked. But yeah, share the show, comment what you thought below, and we will see you next time.
Hit the button, Pat.